Hello, I'm Robert Schnase, Bishop of the Rio, Texas Conference, and I also have the privilege of serving on the Commission on a Way Forward. And I want to share a few ideas with you about how we're doing our work. And to do this, I want to tell this story about my niece. My niece is just a natural artist. She started drawing when she was 3, 4, 5 years old. So a couple of years ago, when she was 11, I asked her, tell me how I can learn to draw, and because I'm no good at this. And she said, well, what do you want to draw? And I said, well, I like birds. How will I draw an owl? And so what she did is she got a piece of paper and she made a mark like that. And I could not figure out what that has to do with owls. And then she said, oh, well, you do this. And if you want to add a tail, and you can add feet, and it just amazed me at how quickly she moved from just this little mark to something that starts to look like an owl. Now, I gotta confess that it would seem to me that I probably need to keep the day job. But anyway, this idea of how she sketched was just so amazing. And you're gonna see a picture of some of her work that when we were sitting down at the same time we were working on the owls, and she was 11 years old, she started drawing all these other animals. And she showed how to draw owls, dogs, cats, all kinds of creatures. Each one of these just took about 30 seconds for her. But the thing that was a learning for me is to watch how she would sketch this, and she would use a pencil in one hand and an eraser in the other, and she'd draw, and then was constantly like this for the 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute that it took to draw a picture. And I'd never thought about an artist in a sketch, drawing a sketch, that the eraser would be touching the paper as frequently as the pencil was. And I think there's just something to learn in that. Now, that was when she was 13 years old. You can see a sketch that's a little better. Excuse me, that's when she was 11 years old. You can see a sketch that's a little better than that when she actually has time to work with both a little more thoroughly. And then finally, look at this picture, which is a picture that she completed just a few months ago as a 13-year-old. Now, the point of this is to draw the distinction between a sketch and a completed piece of art, a finished piece of art. What the Commission is working on right now is sketches of models about how we might find a way forward. And each time that we start drawing, we do this with pencil in one hand and eraser in the other. As we receive feedback, as we engage the Council of Bishops, as we talk about it among the Commission members. And none of these are finalized models by any means, and we're going to keep sketching until we reach a point where it becomes more detailed. And then before we reach General Conference, the called session of General Conference, our hope is that it becomes that completed piece of work that has all the rich colors and textures of a final drawing. Thank you.